The toast is slightly burnt. The background is a grimy, indistinct urban void. The sound is an aggressive, distorted pop, followed by a low hum. Narrator. You carry it around like a tumor. This quiet, gnawing suspicion that your dreams are stupid. Too small. Too simple. Too selfish. In a world screaming at you to be legendary, disrupt the paradigm, change the planet, you just want to open a little bookstore. Or learn how to bake bread that doesn't suck. Or maybe just afford a life where you can sleep in on a Tuesday without a panic attack. This feeling, this shame of the simple ambition, has a name. We're calling it the curse of grandeur. It's the invisible cage that convinces you your life is worthless unless it's a blockbuster epic. And today, we're going to pick the lock. Stick around, and I'll show you how the philosophy of a single slice of toast can become the weapon that sets you free. Visuals. The scene shifts. We see a first-person perspective of someone scrolling through a social media feed on a cracked phone. The feed is a nightmarish, flickering collage of hyper-successful influencers, motivational quotes in aggressive fonts, and news headlines about 20-year-old billionaires. The fingers scrolling are raw and chapped. Narrator. Let's talk about you. You're lying in bed, the blue light of the screen painting a death mask on your face. You see them. The high achievers. The thought leaders. The digital prophets of hustle. They've monetized their joy, packaged their epiphanies, and built empires on the promise that you can too. If you just want it bad enough. And in that moment, your own desire feels pathetic. Visuals. A quick, jarring cut. We see a crudely drawn character sitting across from a friend at a grimy diner table. The friend is animated with a grotesquely large, grinning mouth, speaking in animated, flashy word bubbles. Global impact, Series A funding, legacy. Narrator. You've been there. At a party, at a dinner, at some soul-crushing networking event. Someone asks you that question. So, what's your 5-year plan? And you have an answer. The real one. It's warm and quiet and it lives in the back of your throat. It tastes like freedom. It's a vision of a life that isn't a constant, bloody war against yourself. Maybe it's moving to a city with trees. Maybe it's getting a dog. Maybe it's just finally finishing that stupid painting that's been staring at you from the corner of your room for 3 years. But you don't say it. Instead, you swallow it. You choke it down like poison. Because the person across from you just finished explaining their plan to revolutionize the supply chain logistics of Southeast Asia, and your dream of owning a cat suddenly feels like a confession of failure. So you lie. You cobble together some bullshit answer from the wreckage of articles you've half read about passion and synergy. You perform the role of the ambitious person. And you feel like a fraud. Narrator. Here's the part they don't tell you. The hidden cost of this performance isn't just a little bit of shame. It's not just imposter syndrome. The real cost is paralysis. The curse of grandeur doesn't just make you feel bad about your small dreams. It murders them. And then it convinces you to mourn at the empty grave of a big dream you never even wanted. By judging your authentic desires as unworthy, you rob them of the energy they need to become real. So they wither. And you're left stranded. Too intimidated to chase the grand, socially approved goals, and too ashamed to pursue the small, honest ones. You end up doing nothing. Just floating. A ghost in the architecture of your own life. Living out a story written by a committee of people you don't even like. And the hum of your own unlived life becomes the tinnitus of your waking hours. A constant, high-pitched scream just beneath the surface of everything. This is Denji from Chainsaw Man. The colors are muted, dirty sepia tones, punctuated by splashes of blood orange. Narrator. So, how do you break the curse? You don't fight it with a bigger, better, grander dream. You fight it with something small. Something stupid. Something so pitifully mundane that the culture of ambition can't even see it. You fight it with a slice of toast. To understand this, we need to talk about a boy named Denji. He's our prophet of the profane. In a world overrun with literal devils born from humanity's deepest fears, the gun devil, the bomb devil, the darkness devil, Denji is a different kind of animal. He's a public servant, a monster hunter, a human weapon. What drives a man like that? What grand ideology fuels his battle against cosmic horror? Justice? The future of humanity? World peace? No. Visuals. A rapid montage of Denji's desires, animated in a raw, almost childish style. A piece of white bread with a thick smear of jam. A hot bath. A girl letting him rest his head on her lap. Each image is simple, visceral, and almost pathetic in its simplicity. Narrator. Denji fights so he can eat jam on his toast for the first time. He fights for a warm bed instead of a dirt floor. He fights for the chance to maybe, just maybe, touch a boob. This is the core of it. The sacred text of our manifesto. We're calling it the philosophy of a slice of toast. It's a simple, brutal piece of wisdom that states, the most powerful, resilient, and authentic motivations are not abstract, world-changing ideals. They are small, tangible, deeply personal, and often embarrassing desires. Grandeur is a beautifully decorated prison. The mundane is a rusty key. Let's break this down. There are 3 core principles to this philosophy. Narrator. First, the principle of tangibility. Saving the world is a concept. Ending suffering is an abstraction. Building a legacy is a ghost story you tell yourself. You can't taste them. You can't smell them. You can't hold them in your hand. They are vapor. A slice of toast with jam is real. Your brain, this ancient piece of survival hardware between your ears, isn't built to run on abstract ideals. It's a dopamine fiend. It's a reward-seeking machine. It's wired to pursue concrete things that it can see, touch, and consume. Your stupid dream, running a marathon, perfecting a recipe, building a bookshelf, is a tangible reality. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Its success is measurable. When you pursue it, you give your brain a clear, physical target. You're giving the animal inside you a real scent to follow, not just pointing vaguely at the horizon and whispering about greatness. A tangible dream is a powerful engine. An abstract one is just smoke. Visuals. The chalk on the blackboard erases and reforms into the next principle. An animation shows a gleaming, impossibly tall skyscraper made of glass. They are gorgeous, towering structures of glass, and they shatter at the first sign of an earthquake. The dream to become the greatest painter of my generation dies the first time your work is rejected. The dream to launch $1 billion company dies the first time you run out of funding. The dream to find my one true soulmate and live happily ever after dies after the first real, ugly fight. The higher the pedestal, the more catastrophic the fall. Now, consider the slice of toast. Narrator. The dream to eat something delicious today is anti-fragile. It can withstand almost anything. It's a victory you can achieve even when the rest of your world is on fire. Your stupid little dream, to go for a walk, to read a chapter of a book, to call a friend, is a bunker. It's not glamorous. It won't win you any awards. But it's a repeatable, achievable, and nourishing win. It's a small act of order you can impose on a chaotic universe. Building a life out of these small, resilient wins is infinitely more stable than balancing your entire identity on one massive, fragile pedestal. You're not building a glass tower. You're building a fortress, one ugly, solid brick at a time. Visuals. A series of masks fly across the screen. A smiling, happy mask. A serious, professional mask. A cool, indifferent mask. They all burn away to reveal a simple, unadorned, and slightly scared-looking face. Narrator. Finally, and most importantly, the principle of authenticity. Let's be honest. Where did your grand dreams come from? Really? Did they bubble up from the core of your soul, or were they installed? Were they whispered to you by your parents? Beamed into your skull by advertisements? Surgically implanted by the highlight reels of strangers on the internet? Most grand ambitions are not our own. They are inherited expectations. They're costumes we wear to feel like we belong in the cast of a play we never auditioned for. And pursuing a dream that isn't yours is the fastest path to a special kind of hell. That one is yours. Narrator. That dream is 100% uncut, unstepped on, authentic you. It is the purest signal from your own psychic wilderness. It's the voice of the part of you that hasn't yet been colonized by the expectations of the world. To honor that dream, to actually pursue it, is the ultimate act of rebellion. It's an act of radical self-definition. It's you, looking the curse of grandeur right in its hollow eyes and saying, "No. I will not be a monument to your ambitions. I will be a living testament to my own." This is the philosophy of a slice of toast. It's not about thinking smaller. It's about thinking realer. It's about building a life from the ground up, with materials that can actually withstand the weather. Visuals. The screen becomes a stark, minimalist workshop. Tools hang on a pegboard. The aesthetic is practical, dirty, and direct. The narrator's instructions appear as bold, stenciled text on the screen. Narrator. Okay. Enough philosophy. This isn't a lecture hall. This is a manifesto. A manifesto is a call to arms. It demands action. So here is your training manual. Here is how you start applying the philosophy of a slice of toast to your own life, right now. 4 techniques to deprogram your brain and break the curse. Narrator. Number 1. Conduct the toast audit. Tonight, or right now, I don't care. Grab a piece of paper or open a blank document. I want you to make a list. The title of this list is My Stupid Dreams. The only rule is brutal, unflinching honesty. Forget what you should want. Forget what would look good on your resume or your Instagram. Forget changing the world. Write down the smallest, most selfish, most unproductive desires that live in your heart. The things you want purely for the joy of them. Learn to identify 5 types of bird. Find the perfect rain jacket. Bake a pie from scratch. Watch all the bad 80s action movies. Sit by a river and do absolutely nothing for an hour. No one else will ever see this list. This is a conversation between you and you. Fill the page. Unearth the small, warm things you've buried under the cold stone of other people's expectations. This is your personal inventory of toast. This is your new compass. Narrator. Number 2. Translate grandeur into grit. You probably still have some of those big, skyscraper goals rattling around in your head. That's fine. We don't have to demolish them. We just have to translate them. Take one of your big, intimidating ambitions. Become a successful musician, for instance. That's not a goal, it's a weather system. It's too big to control. Now, translate it into toast. What is the smallest, most tangible, most repeatable action that moves you 1 millimeter in that direction? It's not get a record deal. It's not even write a hit song. It's practice my scales for 15 minutes today. That is the slice of toast. Become a novelist translates to write 100 words today. Get in shape translates to walk around the block today. Stop focusing on the skyscraper. Your only job, every single day, is to secure the slice of toast. Win the small, tangible victory. The skyscraper. It's just what happens when you stack up enough slices of toast. It's a side effect. It's not the point. The toast is the point. Visuals. A hyper-detailed close-up of someone making a cup of coffee. We see the steam, the texture of the grounds, the slow drip. The sound is amplified and immersive. The world outside this simple action fades to black. Narrator. Number 3. Practice mundane worship. The curse of grandeur thrives on your dissatisfaction with the present. It constantly directs your gaze toward a distant, glorious future, making the here and now feel like a shabby waiting room. You need to reclaim the present moment. Here's how. Once a day, I want you to pick one utterly mundane activity. Tying your shoes. Brushing your teeth. Washing a dish. Making a cup of coffee. And for the 2 or 3 minutes that activity takes, you will treat it as the most important event in the universe. You will treat it like a sacred ritual. If you're washing a dish, feel the heat of the water on your skin. Hear the sound of the sponge against the ceramic. Watch the soap bubbles form and pop. Pay absolute, unconditional attention to the physical reality of the moment. This is not some blissed-out mindfulness crap. This is resistance training for your brain. You are actively training your attention to find meaning, value, and satisfaction in the small, the real, and the achievable. You are rewiring your neurology to derive reward from the present, not from some imaginary future. You are starving the curse of its primary food source, your contempt for the ordinary. Visuals. A shadowy, archetypal, hero figure stands on a cliff. Its cape flutters. Then, the figure turns, and its face is a grinning, selfish, punk rock sneer. It gives the viewer the middle finger and walks away from the cliff edge. Narrator. And number 4. Embrace the villain arc. Society has a word for people who prioritize their own small, personal, non-productive desires. It calls them selfish, lazy, unambitious, good. It's time to embrace that. It's time for your villain arc. Reframe this. Focusing on your own, stupid, dreams isn't an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-preservation. It's a rebellion against a culture that wants to burn you as fuel for its own abstract ambitions. It wants you to sacrifice your life on the altar of growth, and progress, and the economy. Choosing to honor your own quiet, human-scale needs is a radical political act. It's you declaring that your well-being, your joy, and your peace are not negotiable. They are not resources to be spent in pursuit of someone else's idea of a worthy life. So let them call you selfish. Let them call you lazy. Every time they do, it's a confirmation that you're on the right track. You've stopped performing for their approval. You've started living for yourself. Every great story needs a villain. Maybe it's time to be the villain in theirs, so you can finally be the hero in your own. But he keeps getting up. His movements are fueled by a raw, desperate energy. Narrator. If you still think this is just a cute metaphor, if you think this philosophy is weak, let's go back to our prophet. Let's look at the proof. Denji's enemies are cosmic forces. Beings of immense power who represent abstract fears. They try to break him the way they would break anyone else, by attacking their grand purpose. They mock his ideals. They threaten the world he's trying to save. They try to fill him with despair about the futility of his mission. And it never works. Why? Because Denji doesn't have a grand purpose. He isn't fighting for humanity. He's fighting for his next meal. Visuals. A close-up on Denji's eyes. They aren't filled with heroic fire. They're filled with a simple, animalistic hunger. Narrator. How do you break a man who is fueled by a desire so simple it can be satisfied in the next 5 minutes? You can't. His motivation is too low to the ground for your grand, philosophical attacks to land. You can threaten to destroy the world, but he just wants a hug. You can lecture him about the meaninglessness of existence, but he's just thinking about taking a nap. His stupid dreams make him indestructible. They are an armor of mundanity that cosmic horror cannot pierce. He saves the world purely as a byproduct of trying to get a girlfriend. He is the ultimate proof that the smallest, most personal desires forge the strongest will. This isn't just fiction. This is a fundamental truth about the human spirit, observed in the darkest places on Earth. Visuals. The visuals shift to a stark, historical aesthetic. Barbed wire fences. The emaciated faces of concentration camp prisoners, rendered in a respectful, non-exploitative, scratchy line style. Narrator. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust, wrote about this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. He noticed something profound in the concentration camps. The prisoners most likely to survive were not the ones who held on to big, abstract hopes for a better future or the liberation of all people. Those hopes were too brittle. They shattered against the daily, relentless brutality of the camps. The ones who survived were those who clung to the smallest, most concrete, most tangible images. The ones who found their reason to live in the thought of seeing a loved one's face just one more time. The ones who kept themselves alive with the vivid memory of a specific meal they wanted to eat again. The ones whose goal was simply to survive the day to see the sunset from behind the barracks. They survived on the spiritual equivalent of a slice of toast. In the face of absolute horror, grandeur is useless. Only the small, the personal, the tangible, has the power to keep a soul alive. Your stupid dreams have a strength you cannot begin to imagine. A beautiful, seductive, and toxic lie. It promises you a kingdom but locks you in a cage. The way out isn't by building a bigger, better cage. The way out is to remember the simple, stupid, life-giving truth of your own desires. So, here's my question for the choir down below. I want you to go to the comments and publicly declare your toast. Tell me one stupid, small, authentic dream that you're going to start honoring. No judgment. No shame. Let's build a manifesto of the mundane. A testament to the power of the small. This is the Normal Life Manifesto. We're here to perform the autopsy on the everyday. If you want to help us hold the scalpel, subscribe. Join the choir. And finally, if this whole conversation about the pressure to be great is resonating with you, it's usually because that pressure is a mask for a deep, underlying fear. A feeling that if you stop running, something will catch you. If that sounds familiar, you need to watch our next session. It's called The Psychology of the Survivor. Why You Can't Stop Fighting. It's about what happens when you live your whole life braced for an impact that's already happened. Click the link on the screen. It's time to stop running.